But first, from Wyoming, Senate Republican Conference Chair John Barrasso. Senator Barrasso, welcome back to Fox News Sunday.
Thanks, Mike.
Okay, so Senate Leader Mitch McConnell's trying to have Democrats choose between that bipartisan bill to help the U.S. semiconductor industry versus a Democrat-only climate tax and prescription drug package. Is that because if Democrats all stick together, he has limited options?
Well, American people are furious right now, and it's all about inflation. That's what this election is going to be about and the future of our country. Only 88% of Americans think the country is heading in the wrong direction. So what we've seen now is the Democrats see the handwriting on the wall. The president's own pollster said this is the worst environment he's ever seen in his lifetime for Democrats. So they're trying a Hail Mary pass. Chuck Schumer said he's once again trying this Build Back Biden and trying to bring it back, rise it from the dead. $1 trillion in taxes, Mike. More government spending, piling on in the Green New Deal. Does anybody actually believe that raising taxes by $1 trillion is going to help inflation, or that taxing the companies that produce our oil, our gas, to help that's going to lower the cost of energy? Not a single Republican is going to support this, Mike. And to my friend Joe Manchin from West Virginia, whose vote is going to be necessary for this,
yes,
I would remind him that Joe Biden's popularity in that state is as low as it is in Wyoming. Only 17%. Joe shouldn't walk the plank for Joe Biden.
Part of that partisan Manchin-Schumer proposal is expected to include, as you mentioned, bringing in about $1 trillion in revenue, with what we're told half expected to go towards deficit reduction, half towards energy and health care spending. Is there an economic argument to be made that now is not the time for that kind of spending?
Well, what we've seen is with the last big Democrat-only spending bill, it made inflation a lot worse. Democrats, the economists who worked for Bill Clinton, Barack Obama, said don't do it. It's going to bring out all this inflation. Joe Biden ignored their advice, denied that there was inflation. The American people know what they want. Families are really hurting all across the country. When I talk to people around Wyoming in terms of inflation, they're spending $100 a week more now than they were last year just to keep up. And they say, what do you really want? You want enough money to be able to fill your tank with gas. You want enough money that you can buy a week's worth of groceries, and you want to have enough money to pay the bills at the end of the month. But Joe Biden's not going there. Oh, no. He's going to higher taxes, more government spending, and attacking American energy. That is not the solution the American people are looking for, which is why only 1 in 10 Americans support the direction of the country right now.
Senator, let's talk midterms. Republicans believe they have a golden opportunity to win back the majority, but if candidates like Herschel Walker, Eric Greitens, and Dr. Oz are not winning over the voters, is there a possibility the GOP could blow this opportunity?
Well, I'm very optimistic about the future election coming up in November. The number one issue is inflation. And in all the issues that people care about, they look to Republicans as the solution on inflation, on energy, on the economy, on the chaos at the border, on crime in the cities. And all of those nominees that you just mentioned, some are already the nominees, others are still in primaries that haven't been decided. What we know is they understand their states, they understand the pain that people are having in those states, and right now you have candidates running as Democrats who just this past week in Ohio, the Senate and the governor candidate refused to even show up or be seen when President Biden came to their state. People are distancing themselves as Democrats from this administration. I'm very optimistic about our opportunities in November.
There are a few reports that former President Trump could announce a third run for the White House before the midterms. Are you concerned that, combined with the Roe v. Wade reversal, could really galvanize and energize Democratic voters ahead of the midterms?
Well, people will make their own decision as to what they vote on and how they decide to vote. I will tell you, when President Trump was in the White House, gas prices were half what they are today. Inflation was non-existent. The border was secure. We were energy independent. Joe Biden's heading to Saudi Arabia, hat in hand, saying, please give us more energy, because he's killed energy in America. We need to get back to energy dominance, not energy dependence, and President Trump got us there.
Your fellow Wyoming Republican, Congresswoman Liz Cheney, who's been perhaps the most outspoken critic of former President Trump, is in the primary fight of her life. Do you see any path to victory for Congresswoman Cheney?
Well, Wyoming politics is very personal, Mike. It's face-to-face. It's town to town. And as you know, Liz and I disagree. I voted against impeachment on President Trump. She was for it. I voted against the partisan January 6th commission. She's all in on that. Now, the election isn't for another month. The travel that I've done around the state, I think she has a lot of work to do if she hopes to win the primary. You say, who's leading right now? The people that are doing the best are the people that are selling advertisements, and Fox News is doing very well.
She has encouraged Wyoming Democrats to cross over and vote for her. Are there enough Wyoming Democrats out there to make a difference in her race?
Well, number one, this wouldn't be the first time that Democrats cross over and flip their registration to vote in Republican primaries. There are really not that many Democrats out there, and even the chairman of the Democrat Party of Wyoming said there are not enough Democrats to do that.
Senator Barrasso, thanks so much. Always good to speak with you, sir.
Thanks, Mike.